Hey everyone, Richard Robbins here. Well, the numbers are in for the greater Edmonton area. I want to share them with you. Obviously, we had a rate increase in the month of October. We're probably going to see more of those going forward. So obviously, the market is starting to weaken a little bit. Let's have a look at what's going on. You can see here, sales were down by 14% in October of 2017 to October of 2018, and our active listings were up by 9%. Now, if your sales are down and your active listings are going up, what's happening with months of inventory? Well, obviously, months of inventory must be rising. So have a look at this. If we go a year ago in October, we had 5.8 months of inventory, which is a relatively balanced market right here. Now we're sitting at 7.2. Now 7.2 is now turned into a full-fledged buyer's market. Now I fully understand that, different property types are going to have different months of inventory. Condos in Edmonton probably have much more months of inventory than, say, inexpensive detached properties. But let's look at September of 18 to October of 18. So again, our sales were down by 6%, and our inventory was down by 7%. Now, you can see here, if our sales were down, and then our inventory was down a little bit more than our sales, what should be happening to months of inventory? If you look at it, obviously, our months of inventory should be slightly down, right? So we were 7.3 in September, we were 7.2 in October, which is a marginal change, but really pretty much the same. So let's look at this. If you look at the sales that took place in 17 and the sales that took place in 18, you can see when we started the year in 18, we actually had a stronger January than we did a year before. And then what started to happen? You can see we're a little bit off here. It was weaker in February. It was weaker in March. It was a little stronger in April, but then it started to weaken in May, June, almost the same in July, slightly more in August, but then you can see September and October, probably a lot to do with rates, I'm thinking. You can see it was down a little bit. So when I look at all this, I think what's happening in Edmonton right now is you've moved from a balanced market last year to really more of a buyer's market this year. Now, if you got more of a buyer's market this year, then what do you need to be better at? Well, you need to be better at pricing listings. You need to be better at getting more price reductions. You need to be better at showing buyers why it's probably a decent time to buy, because right now, Edmonton real estate is on sale, you know what I mean? There's going to be a fair amount to choose from because inventory is a little stronger right now, and probably, in most cases, sellers are going to be a little more flexible on their price. Plus, think about rates. The Bank of Canada has told us that rates are probably going to continue to go up. So if you're a buyer, not a bad time to be buying because rates are probably going to go up as time goes on. But also make sure you understand the months of inventory in different property types. So condos right now has probably got many months of inventory. I'm going to suggest that condos, especially in outlying areas, are probably in a very strong buyer's market right now. Where if you think about, say, an average price bungalow, okay, maybe downtown or in that area, what are you going to see there? You're going to see prices probably a little stronger because months of inventory is going to be a little bit less. So you got to start to have these conversations with buyers and with sellers and help them understand that what's going on in the geographical area that they live in or they want to buy in. And remember, your job as a salesperson is this. Your job is to help people make decisions that are in their best interest. And we live in a world today where there's information everywhere. We're information rich. Buyers and sellers think they know it all, but we're insight poor. Now, when I say insights, well, what is an insight? Well, an insight is something like this. We start talk about months of inventory. Anybody can find out the number of sales and the number of listings, but the question, what does it all mean? And these are the numbers you got to get into. So start sharing valuable insights or wisdom with people so they can make better decisions and decide, should we be buying right now and should we be selling right now? And if they make that decision, they need to be choosing you. Anyway, at the end of the day, always remember, everybody, it's a beautiful life. Make it count.